Hey guys, it's Jessie from Jessie on a Journey in Epicurean Culture. And for my travel Babel story, I'm going to be talking about something that I look back on very fondly, a memory of my first time feeling intense culture shock. Now, I know for some people, culture shock is something that you think of as, bad or you don't want to feel it, but for me, the very first time that I experienced this is kind of what I feel instilled in me the sense of confidence I have now that makes me want to have these crazy solo adventures around the world and really experience cultures. Growing up, I would take road trips with my family around North America. We loved to visit amusement parks and we would do Caribbean cruises a lot. But the first trip that I really think of as my kind of birth into the travel world is when I traveled solo at the age of 21 going to Bangkok, Thailand. The trip started with eight days in Bangkok, but it was actually the beginning of an entire summer traveling through Southeast Asia and China. I was going to be doing a little bit of volunteering, teaching English in the hill tribes in Thailand, and also a little bit of group touring, but mainly I would be on my own. And I still remember preparing for the trip, the what if questions that ran through my head. What if I couldn't figure out local transportation because of a language barrier? What if I got sick from the food and I couldn't figure out how to go to the doctor? Or what if I didn't make any friends while traveling? I also worried about packing, if I was packing enough, if I wasn't packing enough, if I was packing for the correct weather conditions, or if I was going to look conservative enough. And side note, packing a three-piece suit for a teaching English stint in the summer in Thailand is unnecessary. But anyway, my parents drove me to the airport the day I was leaving. It was a 45-minute drive, and we sat in traffic, and I remember thinking that the drive was just going so slow. I just wanted to get there. But then when we reached the airport, I felt like it had gone so fast. I didn't want to leave my parents. I didn't want to leave New York. I didn't want to leave what I knew, but I did. And I landed in Bangkok, grabbed my backpack, put all my valuables inside my pants because I, was very cautious. I was looking all around, everything was intensified. And I got to the taxi stand. I told him the address I wanted to go to. Knew he was totally ripping me off for my guidebook, but I was nervous, so I let him rip me off. And he ended up dropping me off at the end of this crazy road, which I now know is Khao San Road, but at the time had no idea. It just looked completely foreign. There was people screaming, there was, music blasting, there was louder lights, there was smells of foreign foods, there was locals trying to sell me three-piece suits, and it's just wild, and I had no idea where I was going. I remember my backpack was really hot, and I was sweating, and my arms were shaking trying to read these, handwritten directions I've written at home back in New York. Weaving in and out of these side streets, I felt like I was discovering these, whole new worlds in their own, just these little alleyways, but they all kind of look the same because I didn't know where I was. So eventually, after about an hour, I found my guest house, went to my room, locked the door, swore I would never leave for the rest of the trip. I was going to just live on the granola bars I had packed, and that was that. That is until the next morning when, the bright sun shone through my window. It woke me up. I could smell the pad thai and the grilled meats, and I could hear locals talking, and I could hear travelers just waking up, and, it excited me. I wanted to see and experience all these new things. That's why I had gone there, And I was on my own. I could do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. This trip was totally mine. So in the end, I ended up completely immersing myself in the local culture. I spent some time living with a family. I visited temples. I went shopping at the local markets. I went to some Thai dance performances. I tried all kinds of new foods. I made friends with locals, and I just really got to know the destination in a way I had never gotten to know a destination before. So, I also think about all the what if questions I had and how they never really came up, and when they did, as with the three-piece suit, it really wasn't that hard to figure out. When you're in charge of yourself, you'll figure out how to, conquer the challenges that come your way. So, while I still feel an intense curiosity when I travel, nothing quite compares to that first time. My eyes were wider than they have ever been or ever will be. And To me, travel is about experiencing new things and, being affected by a destination. And for me, that first time feeling culture shock in a new place, it allowed me to feel these things, but in a very intensified way. And I will always be thankful for that.